As stepping in to start it off is Given Hammonds, the number 2 ranked team in the country in the preseason polls, Northwest Florida State. Taking on these Coyotes of coastal Alabama South. Talk about an opportunity to gain some national recognition quickly if you can take one of 2 or both games this afternoon. Hammonds leading it off. Sister Arnold is the 2-hitter. Ashlyn Shira in the 3 spot. Christina Mason is the 4-hitter. Autumn Vessier batting 5th. Michaela Ferguson 6th. Hayden Andrews in the 7 spot. Sophia Jones in 6th. Hayden Andrews in the 7 spot. Sophia Jones will hit 8th. And Britt Bourgogne is in the 9 hole. Shelley Littlefield getting the start in the circle for the Coyotes. Meanwhile, Ella Morgan Sears is behind the plate. That pitch just a little bit high. Count runs even at 2. Sydney Sherman at first. The second baseman is Taylor Hunt. Kaylin Parker at short, and the third baseman, Kaylin Fincher. As the 2-2 offering is popped up on the infield, calling for it at third. Fincher, she'll hang on. And Hammonds is out number 1. So 1 gone with Sister Arnold next. Jersey Carter in left field for the Coyotes. The center fielder is Grace Langston. Abby Davis roaming right. First of a couple of games this afternoon. Game 2 slated for a 3 o'clock start, but it's all semantics. Actually, it'll be about a half hour after the first one ends. I mentioned a good-looking day. 65 degrees is what it is supposed to warm to today. As that pitch is outside and the count goes 2-0. Currently 64. Air quality is 25 and good. UV index 5 and moderate. As you got a 2-0 offering to Arnold. A little high, a little outside. Count goes to 3-0. Winds out of the north-northwest at 8, gusting to 17. Feels like 62. Shouldn't be any rain in 24 hours. Humidity at 48%. 3-0 pitch. Into the zone, 3-1 on Arnold. Autumn Shira to the on-deck circle. And I guess I have given you everything I can weather-wise. Want to know when the sun sets? 5:30. Another strike, count runs full. And your moon sets at 1:48. 3-2 the count, full on Arnold. That is swatted foul over towards the dugout at third. So in other words, in a nutshell, just gorgeous day. Maybe a tad on the breezy side with those gusts to 17. But otherwise, who can complain about 64 currently and warming to 66? 3-2 pitch to Arnold. That is shot towards left field and kind of dipped on Jersey Carter. Sinks underneath the mid, goes to the warning track. And Arnold will be standing in second. Well, that had movement on it. And I'm not sure what the official scorekeeper would rate that as. I'm going to put it as a base hit for Arnold. Just had some movement on it, tipped underneath the mitt of Carter in left field. You might get the box score later and say, hey, there was an error there in the first. Well, that was the error then. Any and everything I do is unofficial. Hops out of the mitt of Sears, goes to the screen, and Arnold takes off for third. So a base runner at third. Here in the top part of the first. as Ashlyn Shira steps in. Christina Mason moving to the on-deck circle. Littlefield's offering. Well, you can see that elbow flinch, thinking about it, with Shira laid off of the pitch. And it will stay upstairs. Running the count to 3-0. 3 balls, no strikes. Base runner at third, 1 away. We're in the top of the first, game just underway. That is inside. It's a ball, but it's a wild pitch as well, and Arnold will come in to score. And Northwest Florida State takes the early lead.
Now that is Christina Mason.
So Shira on with a walk, Christina Mason to the plate. Autumn Vessier moving to the on-deck circle. Great to have you watching, and you are watching on YouTube because that is the only media player now on JockJive. So you probably see a little subscribe button nearby. If you want to subscribe, we aren't complaining. I've mentioned previously, we've got this lofty goal. Okay, it's big. And we're only 996,500 away. As the pitch is maybe just a bit outside, Shira takes off for second and in with the stolen base. Count even at 1 on Mason. But heck, think big, so we're shooting for $1 million. Okay, we'd be satisfied like with 4,000. Strike on the inside part of the plate on a short-term basis. But subscribe, and if you subscribe, or whether you do or not, you can share. And also be alerted to the fact that the game is upcoming. High and away with the pitch to Mason. Littlefield, 3 appearances this year. As that pitch hits Mason. And Autumn Vessier coming to the plate.
Now that Autumn Vessier.
Michaela Ferguson to the on-deck circle. Couple of base runners aboard, 1 away. Hammonds with a line out to third to begin the inning. Since then, the Arnold double, the walk of Shira, Mason hit by the pitch. Littlefield, 3 appearances, 2 starts, 1-0 on the year, 1 complete game. Has worked 9 1/3 innings, given up 7 hits, 4 runs, 1 earned. 5 walks and 5 strikeouts coming in. Sporting a 1.29 ERA and is yet to give up the long ball. Showing punt, runners take off. Everybody save Shira. He is at third and Mason at second. So the double steal puts a couple of RBIs in place for Vessier. Michaela Ferguson is on deck. High and away with the pitch from Littlefield. Northwest Florida State 6-0 on the year. Coyotes 3-1. Vessier swinging at a pitch outside, and she is fanned by Littlefield. Littlefield's first strikeout of the ball game, and an opportunity for Littlefield to get out of the inning, not completely unscathed, but not bad if she can just leave the top part of the first with only 1 run plating. Michaela Ferguson next. Ferguson hitting .294 on the year. Both teams batting better than .300, .313 for the Coyotes and .396 for the Raiders. Fouled away by Ferguson. Hayden Andrews to the on-deck circle. A ball, a strike, 2 gone, 2 aboard. 1 in, top of the first. Riser stays up for Littlefield, and it is 2-1. Northwest Florida State out of the Panhandle Conference. Region 8, your Coyotes. Region 22, right over the mid of Hunt. That will go all the way to the fence. Shira's in, Mason's in, Ferguson put on the brakes at second briefly and then goes on to third. It'll be a triple that drives in 2. And the Raiders with the 3-zip lead. So Shira in, Mason in. Ferguson, her first triple of the year. Hayden Andrews to the plate. Good looking pitch from Littlefield. Got the inside to make that the outside part of the plate on the left-hander. Sophia Jones is on deck. High with a pitch from Littlefield. Couple of base hits. 1-hitter hit. 3 runs are in, top of the first. Andrews awaiting. That is floated towards right field. And backing up near the warning track to make the catch is Abby Davis. 1 runner is stranded. 3 runners are in. Northwest Florida State takes a 3-zip lead into the bottom of the first. We get the bottom of the first underway in a 3-zip ball game. Northwest Florida State getting runs from Arnold, Shira, and Mason. 2 of the runs driven in by Ferguson. The other run came in on the wild pitch. And the Raiders up by 3. Abby Davis will start it off for Coastal Alabama. South Jersey Carter is the 2-hitter. Tanner Hunt in the 3 spot. Sydney Sherman batting 4th. 5-hitter Kaylin Fincher in that 6 spot. Kaylin Parker. Ella Morgan Sears is the 7-hitter, and Kinsley Wesley batting 8th. And Grace Langston is 9th. And a correction, by the way, Ella Morgan Sears is the DP. Kinsley Wesley is the catcher for Coastal South. The young ladies up in the booth trying to be kind to the old man and say, well, it looked like on the lineup card. Well, no, it's just my feeble aged eyes. So Sears, the DP, Wesley is catching. And it is Davis at the plate. Outside with a pitch from Kaylin Hale. She's in the circle for Northwest Florida State. Autumn Vessier is the catcher. Sister Arnold at first, Hayden Andrews at second. Shortstop Britt Borgong And at third, you'll find Michaela Ferguson. The Raider outfield, given Hammonds in left. Center fielder is Sophia Jones. Ashlyn Shira in right. Hill with a strike on the outside part of the plate, 3-1. That is shot right up the middle, base hit. Abby Davis kicks it off with a single. And Coastal South looking to respond quickly to the 3 runs that played in the top part of the inning.
Batting next, Jersey Carter.
Got a long way to go in the game. So a 3-zip first inning lead, no problem. And if you are the Coyotes, you sure would like to go ahead and respond to the 3 runs that played it in the top part of the inning. And got the potential first run on for Jersey Carter. Taylor Hunt is on deck. Strike delivered on the outside part of the plate to the left-hander. Jersey Carter, a .400 hitter on the year. Couple of hits in 5 plate appearances. Has Davis on, who has more plate appearances thus far than any other Coyote. There's a strike on the outside part of the plate, 0-2. I mentioned in the opening the changes. This week got some early changes. Monday, the decision was made to move the John Melvin University Coastal Alabama North softball game from Tuesday to Thursday. And about an hour and a half later, it was decided to move the Mississippi Gulf Coast Coastal North baseball game in Brewton to tomorrow. And even a few minutes later, the decision made to cancel the Hines Coastal North basketball game on Saturday. Two-two pitch. Driven towards short, scooped up by Borgon. Goes to first, but they're late, and Carter's on. Davis is too. Well, everything was clean on the fielding and receiving, so we'll give Carter a base hit. And you got a couple of base runners on for Taylor Hunt, who already represents the tying run. Sydney Sherman moving to the on-deck circle. Bottom of the order, the 8, 9, and top of the order one-hitters coming to the plate in the second inning for Northwest Florida State. Pitch on the outside part of the plate to the .231 hitting Taylor Hunt. 3 hits and 13 plate appearances. Has a single RBI on the year, but a chance to pick up at least one here. Thought about laying down the bunt. Committed on the bunt attempt, and it is 1-2 on Hunt. Carter and Davis on. Hunt, in a worst case, trying to move him up. She will swing, she'll miss. And Hunter strikes out for out number 1.
Now batting, Sydney Sherman.
Sydney Sherman is next. Top RBI producer for the Coyotes with 6. Kaylin Fincher to the on-deck circle. 4 and 5 spots. The biggest RBI producing part of the order for the Coyotes. That is low and away. 2 balls and no strikes. Two-0 pitch. too far inside. Coastal South, 23 runs in 4 games. And my math is really suspect, but that's nearly, I think, 6 runs a game. Strike delivered to Sherman. And it is 3-1. One round tripper thus far this year. It came from Kaylin Fincher. 3-1 pitch to Sherman. That is outside. She's walked to the bases loaded. Well, if you're Kaylin Fincher standing over in the on-deck circle going, when would be a good time for home run number 2? This would be a pretty good spot. Bases loaded, down by 3. Coach coming out and have a conversation with his pitcher, Kaylin Hale. Hale making her 4th appearance of the year. She is 3-0. 1 complete game, 15 innings of work. Has given up 6 hits, a run, walked 3, struck out 8. Popped up, foul territory. And going over to make the catch is first baseman Sister Arnold. So Fincher the fly out, a big out of the 5-hitter. And that's got Kaylin Parker coming to the plate. Hale has not allowed a earned run thus far this year. Comes in with an ERA of goose eggs. 1-0 on Parker. A low, little outside as well. 2-0 on Parker. Ella Morgan Sears on deck. Bottom of the first, tying run on, but 2 gone. And it's 2-1 on Parker. Kaylin Parker looking for a clutch 2-out base hit. A 300 hitter this season, 3 hits in 10 trips to the plate. Got a piece of it, fouls it away, but the count goes 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 gone, bases full. Strike 3 on the outside part of the plate. 10 Ks on the season for Hale, 2 in the inning. And the Coyotes will strand 3. We head to the top of the second. Sophia Jones leading it off. Britt Bourgoin and Gibbon Hammonds due up in the inning too. Both teams with a couple of base hits. But Northwest Florida State brought in 3 while the Coyotes strand 3. As we head to the second, I think I just saw Daniel Head, the AD of Coastal Alabama, walk into the stands. Big thanks to Daniel for the opportunity to bring you coverage not only of home softball, but baseball, men's and women's basketball as well. Top of the second, Sophia Jones starting it off.
Sophia Jones.
Britt Borgone and Given Hammonds coming to the plate as well in the inning. Shelly Littlefield, first pitch, high and away. So after the movement of Coastal North baseball and softball, this is the only game today here on JockJive. But we do have a game on Wednesday, whereas we originally didn't. So tomorrow, baseball from Bruton. And then on Thursday, softball and basketball. Not only the Coastal North softball, but Gadsden State and Coastal South basketball. Speaking of which, last night, Southern Union in town. A split of the doubleheader. The ladies lost and the men won. Sophia Jones taking a pitch low and away. And congratulations to Coastal North at overtime. Beat Reed State. That's a big win for the men's basketball program at North. As that one is fouled back towards the stands and out of play. I mentioned Northwest Florida State, the number 2 ranked team in the country. As there's a swing and a miss and an outside pitch from Jones, K number 2 in the game for Littlefield. And for the second consecutive inning, Littlefield sets down the leadoff hitter. And Brett Borgone will come to the plate. But I was talking about the Raiders and their 2 ranking. It is just ahead of an ACCC team. Wallace Hansful, number 3 in the preseason polls. And of course this year, 2 divisions. So the ACCC will have a D1 champ and a D2 champ. I believe the national championship for D1 back in Arizona. And I think the D2 is in Alabama. Swing and a miss by Borgone. And of course the Panhandle Conference, a D1 program, so they're shooting for Yuma, Arizona as well. 1-2 pitch. That is sent towards center field. Drops into the one hop. Looked like it kind of went up the chest and hit the chin of Grace Langston, but apparently she's okay. I thought we might see her go, wow, that smarted and go to the knees, but able to field and Borgone on. So a good job by Langston to keep it in front of her. As we're back to the top of the order. Given Hammonds with a fly out to third in the first. Sister Arnold moving to the on-deck circle. Low and away with the pitch, bouncing off the bag at first. Borgone, she will go back. Count goes even at 1. We are back here in Bay Minette as that one is sliced towards left field near the foul line. Carter making the catch. And Hammond's out number 2.
Now batting, Sister Arnold.
2 gone for Sister Arnold. Ashlyn Shira to the on-deck circle. That is a high fly ball left field, but it will sail over into foul territory. Arnold with a double and a run scored in the first came in on a wild pitch. That was part of a walk that put Shira on, and Shira eventually came in as part of that 2-run triple from Michaela Ferguson. There's another strike, 0-2 on Arnold. Littlefield had a couple of Ks in the first, wouldn't mind 2 in the second. Two strike offering just a little bit outside. Littlefield trying to tempt Arnold with something nearby. And that gets outside of the strike zone. One-two offering, 2 gone. Little dribbler over towards first. Littlefield scoops underhands, gets the out. 1-3 goes the put out. 1 runner is stranded. Nobody scores. 1.5 done. We go to the bottom of the second and to the bottom of the order for Coastal South. Well, a reminder, in addition to subscribing to our YouTube channel, we would love for you to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Threads, and TikTok. At JockJive on most. I think the catchphrase is JockJive Sports on YouTube and Facebook. Otherwise, put JockJive in the search engine and you will find us. As we head to the bottom of the second, 1 base hit, 3 total now in the game for Northwest Florida State. That 1 base hit in the second, added to the 2 in the first. 3 now in the game. Ella Morgan Sears, Kinsley Wesley, and Grace Langston all coming to the plate. Bottom of the second, first of a couple of games. About a half hour after this one wraps up, we'll clear off the field. Line the diamond again and get ready for game 2. Sent foul by Sears. Sears, her first plate appearance of the season. Floats it over towards first in foul territory. The soft liner Arnold grabs, and there is 1 away. One out for Kinsley Wesley. Grace Langston to the on-deck circle. That is ground towards third. 2-hopper scooped by Ferguson. Goes to first, and 5-3 goes the put out of Wesley.
Grace Langston.
2 gone for the 9-hitter Grace Langston. Langston batting .300 on the year. An RBI, a walk, and a strikeout. 3 hits in 10 plate appearances. First pitch from Hale, just a tad high. 2 gone, nobody aboard here in the bottom of the second. Well, Hale following a little slow floater with some speed. And the heat caught the outside part of the plate, runs the count even at 1. Trying to catch the edge again, goes a little wide. I started mentioning that we'll be back in Bay Minette on Sunday. Didn't finish the thought. John A. Logan here. And that is if weather will permit. There is, at last time I checked, about a 60% chance of rain on Sunday. And let's see, now a 55% chance. That is ground towards short. Takes an evil hop on Burgoyne. Into center field, and Langston will reach on the E6.
Now batting, Abby Davis.
So a base runner aboard. Back to the top of the order, Abby Davis, who had a single in the first, coming to the plate. Jersey Carter to the on-deck circle. Shira, Mason, and Vessier when you get to the top of the third for Northwest Florida State. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Davis. Had a single in the first. Count goes even at 1. A ball, a strike, 2 gone. Langston at first. Coyotes trying to get a run. Erase that goose egg here in the bottom of the second before heading to the third. Another strike delivered to Davis. Davis hitting .286, has not struck out this year. Has 2 doubles to her credit. 1-2 pitch. Back to the screen, foul. Five of 15 now on the year with those 2 doubles, 5 runs scored, 3 RBIs for Davis. Hales, 1-2 pitch, hit to second, down to the knee to field as Andrews goes to short to get Langston. And a runner is stranded, but nobody scores. 2 done, and it's the Raiders by 3.
Four-year degree to make good money? Think again. Get training in your own backyard. Master electrical and mechanical skills, process controls, hydraulics and pneumatics, and land a job that can take you anywhere. Start your path to a career that pays. Discover electrical and instrumentation technology at Coastal Alabama Community College.
Three-zip Northwest Florida State lead, out hitting the Coyotes 3-2. And it's the Raiders that have committed the game's only error, but it did not hurt. The E6 in the bottom of the second. Top of the third gets underway. Ashlyn Shira starting it off. Christina Mason, Autumn Vessier, 2 up in the inning, 2. A reminder in the fourth, we take shout-outs. I tell you an inning in advance to get those creative thinking caps on and get ready to shout. That is well hit towards left field. 1 hops against the fence. Shira is on her way to second. She's got a double to lead off the third.
Now batting, Christina Mason.
So a base runner in scoring position for Christina Mason. Mason hit by a pitch, stole a base, came in on the Ferguson triple in the first. Has a runner at second here in the third. High with the pitch to Mason. Autumn Vessier to the on-deck circle. Little outside with the pitch, 2-0. Mason hitting .364. 1 home run, 5 RBIs this year. That is well hit. High fly ball, left field. It's out of the park. Second home run of the season. RBIs 6 and 7. And runs 4 and 5 in this one for the Raiders. That is the 12th home run hit by the Raiders this year. It is the second for Mason. And it's been the big hits that have driven in the bulk of the runs for the Raiders. The triple brought in 2. Now the home run brings in 2. Autumn Vessier steps in. Michaela Ferguson to the on-deck circle. And that is the first home run given up this season by Littlefield. Ground to short. Parker's got it. Whips it to first. Vessier out on the 6-3.
Now batting Michaela Ferguson.
1 out for Michaela Ferguson. Ferguson with the triple that drove in a couple of runs in the first. Two balls, no strikes. Hayden Andrews on deck. That is hit towards left, but foul. And reminder, if you'd like to watch the game after the fact, it's free on demand, and it's almost free by subscription. Go to the website, click on the menu bar, top right corner, follow the prompts, and there you go. Hit towards Langston in center field. She'll make the catch, and Ferguson is out number 2.
Now that Hayden Andrews.
Hayden Andrews with a fly out to right field in the first. Sophia Jones moving to the on-deck circle. Carter, Hunt, and Sherman. When you get to the bottom of the third for Coastal South. One-oh pitch, trying to check her swing. Instead, pops it up and it will drop. Little miscommunication between Parker and Fincher. Parker thinking Fincher would make the catch. Fincher thinking Parker. Neither does, and Andrews stays alive at the plate. 1-1 pitch to Andrews. And the count goes to 1-2. Littlefield with 2 strikeouts in the game. Van Vessier in the first, Jones in the second. High and away with a pitch to Andrews. And trying to make Andrews victim number 3 here in the third. 2-2 pitch with 2 gone. Slice towards left. Carter in foul territory. She'll make the catch. And out will go Andrews. 3 go down, but after the Christina Mason 2-run shot that gives the Raiders a 5-zip lead.
Think you need a 4-year degree to make good money? Think again. Get training in your own backyard. Master a skill to land a job fast. And start your path to a career that pays. So what are you waiting for? Discover aviation at Coastal Alabama Community College.
We head to the bottom of the third. Jersey Carter starting it off. Taylor Hunt, Sydney Sherman due up in the inning two. A 2-run top part of the inning. As the Raiders get a Christina Mason home run, her second of the year. A 3-run first and a 2-run third for the Raiders. Jersey Carter's got one of the 2 Coyote base hits. As a matter of fact, they came back-to-back in the first. Davis, then Carter. Taylor Hunt on deck. High pitch to Carter, who acted as if she was going to bunt. Infield, not particularly deep, not particularly shallow. Pretty much about a routine. Outside with a pitch. 3-0 to Carter. Kamari Darrington is back on Thursday, calling the John Melvin Coastal North game up in Monroeville. Dallas Renzi's been doing quite a bit of work. He will work, I think, next in the MMI Coastal North game on Saturday. Outside with a pitch, Carter given a walk. That is the second one issued by Hale.
Taylor Hunt.
Lead off on for Taylor Hunt. And Monday, Jason Thompson back. I think that's his first week in 2024. And he'll be working Coastal North basketball. 1-0 pitch. Outside. Next week, 2. I think it is next week, maybe the week after. Let's see. No, it's the 17th, so that will be next week. ALA BCA Game of the Week is back. And we head to Arrington. Carroll Ozark and Arrington battle. Brief conversation between Vessier and Hale. Taylor Hunt struck out in the first. One of 2 Hale strikeouts that raised her season total to 10. Sydney Sherman on deck. That is driven into right field, base hit for Hunt. Couple of runners on. Third base hit of the game for the Coyotes.
Now batting, Sydney Sherman.
And Coyotes looking to get right back into the ball game here in the bottom of the third, with Sydney Sherman coming to the plate. excellent catch, by the way. I don't know if you saw the assistant coach make the catch of the sleeve of cups. Outstanding one-handed grab. Of course, we guys can do that kind of thing, you know. Baseball, softballs, you know, I struggle, but a sleeve of cups, a plate of chicken wings, I probably can catch those. 1-0 the count on Sherman. Kaylin Fincher is on deck. Trying to lay down the bunt. Now you got Carter caught in a rundown. And the leadoff runner is going to be tagged out. That is a big out of Carter. So Carter tagged out in a rundown. And there's one away. Lead runner is gone. Swing and a miss by Sherman. Jones, Burgoyne, and Hammonds when you get to the fourth for Northwest Florida State. Found out of play beyond the dugout at first. Sherman with a walk in the first, one of 2 walks in the game for Hale. Of course, the other was to Jersey Carter to begin this inning, but Carter now in the dugout after getting caught in that rundown, thinking Sherman was going to lay down the bunt, and she didn't. Sherman batting .500 coming into the day. 5 hits and 10 plate appearances. 1 extra base hit. 6 RBIs. The 3-2 pitch to Sherman. Again fouled away. I see Megan Stewart in the stand. She plays volleyball for Coastal South, but also basketball now for Coastal South. Coastal South had a little issue with some players dismissed from the team, so they needed to pick up some players. Went the volleyball route. It is scooped up at short, throw on to first, and the double play. Burgoyne getting it to Andrews, and Andrews on to Arnold. And the DP will go 6-4-3. So an inning of promise. Fizzles, 1 base hit, and nobody stranded. Turns into a 3-up, 3-down bottom of the third. We head to the fourth. Jones, Burgoyne, and Hammonds coming up.
Discover pastry baking at Coastal Alabama Community College.
We head to the top of the fourth. Sophia Jones starting it off. Britt Burgoyne and Gibbon Hammonds due up in the inning two. A big thank you to Industrial Scrap Processors, making coverage possible in part today. Serving your scrap metal needs since 1983. Call 205-428-7901. Top of the fourth, and time to get to your shout-outs too, by the way. We promised you in the fourth, kind of a routine we try to follow if I can remember. And I happen to remember. 334-488-1385, the number. It's attached to your scoreboard. Here's how the shout-outs work. You probably know, but if you don't, no specific mandated criteria, just some suggestions. Who's it to? Who's it from? Where's it from? I mean, the who's it to is pretty important. The who's it from, that's kind of important. The where's it from, not as important. But if you'd include all of that, 334-488-1385, you write them, I read them. All fourth inning long. That shot into left field, Sophia Jones on with a single to begin the Northwest Florida fourth. And of course, now that we are on YouTube, you can actually send a message at any point in the game. But we like to emphasize your shout-outs in the fourth. Who's it to? Who's it from? Where's it from? Two, if you're watching from work, and it's okay to watch while you're working, send that. We'll give the work spot some free pub. Down to first with a throw. Safely back goes Jones. And let's see, what else we got? Got a little watch party going on. Snap a photo. Send it. And I think that's got it covered. Down to first again, able to get back safely is Jones. Brent Borgone with a single in the second. Given Hammonds moving to the on-deck circle. Ground towards short, backhanded by Parker. Goes to first, not in time. Infield single for Borgone. And a couple of base runners on as we get back to the top of the order.
Now back, given Hammonds.
Hammonds with a couple of flyouts, one to third, one to left. Sister Arnold moving to the on-deck circle. Well, I mentioned Jason Thompson on the call Monday night. Jason's watching. Hello, Jason. No, I don't think we got anything until Monday, and then we're going to keep Jason busy the rest of the spring. And into the 1st of May. Strike delivered on the inside part of the plate to Hammonds. Shout out says, go Coastal South. And my number 14 from Dothan, Alabama. And of course, number 14, Shelly Littlefield. So mom watching in Dothan. Good to have you watching from the Wiregrass of Alabama. Two and one the count. Did I read a story the other day, by the way, from Dothan about a couple that's been married 80 years? I think they were from Dothan, Alabama. 2-1 pitch. And the husband was asked the success of the marriage, and he said, you simply say, yes, dear. I've learned that. Does seem to work better. 2-2 pitch. Hammonds grounding it towards Parker. Underhand to Fincher at third. Gets the out of the lead runner. Hammonds will wrap into the 6-5.
Now batting, Sister Arnold.
One out with Sister Arnold next. Ashlyn Shira to the on-deck circle. The shout out to number 2 for the Raiders from Hammond, Louisiana. Your big sisters love you. Woo Red Kingdom. Thank you very much. Hammond, Louisiana, checking in halfway between, wherever it is you get on I-12 to go to Baton Rouge. Okay, more history. Hammond, Louisiana is where Charlie Rich died. Okay, that's probably not good news. And then, of course, most are saying, who in the heck is Charlie Rich? You are young if you are saying such. Into center field, Sister Arnold will in drive in Burgoyne at will, and the Raiders take a 6-zip lead. Hammonds to third. They're on the corners for Ashlyn Shira. And a runner coming in for Arnold. That runner at first is Gabby Miller.
Now batting Ashlyn Shira.
But Charlie Rich, he's known as the Silver Fox, sings When We Get Behind Closed Doors, and The Most Beautiful Girl in the World. Okay. Anyway. Hammond, Louisiana, thanks for checking in. And Shelley's mama says, yeah. She remembers reading the article, too, that there was that couple together for 80-plus years there in Dothan. Off to second goes Miller. Got a stolen base in scoring position. Shira has walked and doubled, scored twice, stolen a base. A little bit inside with a pitch to Shira. Two balls, no strikes. A little bit low with the offering. Your shout-outs all fourth inning long, 334-488-1385. Text them. Typically get a call or two. Would love to talk, but got to do a little play-by-play. That is a wild pitch into the dirt. Shira will take first. Coming in from third is Hammonds. And also coming in on the wild pitch is Arnold. Her runner, Miller. 2 runs played on the wild pitch that will eventually see Shira take second.
Now batting Christina Mason.
Christina Mason with a runner at second. In an 8-zip ball game with 1 away. Mason hit by a pitch, stole a base, and scored a run in the first. Knocked into with a homer in the third. Off to third goes Shira, and she'll get there safely with a stolen base. Autumn Vessier to the on-deck circle. A little high with the pitch to Mason. Fincher, Parker, and Sears when you get to the bottom of the fourth for Coastal South. This shout out is to the Raiders. Go Moose, number 19. Mom is watching from Pensacola. Thank you very much, Mom in Pensacola. Two and one the count on Mason. She hit her second home run of the year in the third. The Littlefield pitch popped up. Will it stay inside the fence? It will, and coming over from first to make the catch is Sherman. So the Mason flyout out number 2.
Now batting Autumn Vessier.
Autumn Vessier to the plate, 0 for 2 in the game. She is struck out and ground out. On the outside part of the plate to Vessier. Vessier struck out as the second out in the first, ground out to short as the first out in the third. A 3-run first, a 2-run third. It has been a 3-run fourth for Northwest Florida State. Count even at 1. Fincher, Parker, and Sears. They are the 5, 6, and 7 hitters due up when you get to the south part of the fourth. Littlefield's pitch. Upstairs a bit. Our winds gusting to 17. Blowing left to right here across the diamond. Upstairs again with the pitch to Vessier. Vessier batting .462 coming into the day. Number 2 on the team in doubles with 3. One behind Ashlyn Shire, who tacked on her 5th of the year earlier in the game. Swatting foul by Vessier. First of a couple of games. A half hour after this one wraps up, game 2 gets underway. And it is a completely different link. So this one will close out, and a new link will open with the first pitch of the second game. Michaela Ferguson on deck. .58 runs in 6 games for Northwest Florida State. That is just a hair under 10 per contest. Into the dirt with a pitch, bounces away from Wesley. Shira scores from third. And Vessier on with a walk.
Now batting Michaela Ferguson.
Michaela Ferguson, a triple that drove in 2 in the first, popped out to center field in the third. 1 for 2 in the game. I am going to have to ask Dean Myrick, the commissioner of the ACCC, if this year is indeed a first. I think it is, where you've got a D1 and a D2 in the ACCC. As I've mentioned previously, they've been D2 before, back in the 90s, maybe even the early 2000s. The ACCC was D2, but I don't think they've ever been both. Little check swing, sent foul by Ferguson. And of course, the logistical issue that presents is you've got to have a state tournament in both divisions. Wrapped foul over towards left. The softball will be played in the same location, Alabaster, and will be played at the same time. I think baseball is at the same location, Oxford, but different weeks. One-two pitch to Ferguson. It is ground towards Fincher in third. She'll go to first with the throw. In Ferguson on the 5-3 putout, leaving Vessier on. But 4 runs plate, and the Raiders take a 9-zip lead into the bottom of the fourth.
of Alabama Online, where legends log in. A tradition of excellence. Decades of experience in distance learning. Empowering students of all ages. More than 90 degree and certificate programs to advance your career. UA Online. Flexible, affordable, legendary. Let your computer be your campus. Visit online.ua.edu.
We head to the bottom of the fourth. The last of your shout-outs, 334-488-1385. Our one and only Sneed State basketball game of the year comes up on Monday. We'll head to Boaz as Sneed State will play host to Chat Valley. That is homecoming at Boaz and on John Kitchen's court there on the campus of Coastal Alabama. Make that of Sneed State. So check that out coming up on Monday. Kaylin Fincher stepping in. Kaylin Parker and Ella Morgan Sears due up in the inning too. That is ground towards short, and it will hop underneath the mitt of Burgoyne, and on is Fincher.
Kaylin Parker.
Kaylin Parker coming to the plate. Well, maybe it's just me, but just a moment ago, it was this aura of royalty walked into the press box. I looked around, and indeed, what Daniel had, the AD, is in the house. As Kaylin Parker steps in, I did go across the street and check out the gymnasium, by the way. Boy, that's a good-looking facility. Good to have Daniel Head up in the box. Had I known, I would have brought some headphones from the van. Next time I'm here, I will, or maybe between games. I don't know how long Daniel's going to hang around. He says he's going to be here all night. So that means our ratings, just like halftime of last night's game, will skyrocket when Daniel Head grabs the headphones and chats. So I'll make the journey to the van between games, and we'll be talking with the AD and get an update, too, on all the construction going on campus. I can only hear murmurings, but I'm not sure that there'll be a lot of an update. There will be. Okay, we got a lot of stuff to talk about then. So game 2 of the doubleheader. Be sure to come back. Not only will you catch Rainer Coyote softball, but a conversation with Daniel Head. Knocked down in second by Andrews, but that is going to be scored as a Parker base hit. And a couple of base runners are on as Ella Morgan Sears comes to the plate. Well, apparently a conversation, I think the conversation might have been about some form of potential interference. But the officials say no, there was none. And your two runners on are safe. Fincher at second, Parker at first. Strike delivered on the outside part of the plate to Ella Morgan Sears. Andrews, Jones, and Burgoyne when you get to the fifth. That is slapped into center field. Sears with a base hit, and it is all loaded up for the Coyotes. So Sears picking up her first base hit of the year. Coyotes looking to get right back into the game. Down by 9, going into the fifth, not good. You got a mercy rule that could kick in after 5, and that's an 8-run lead. So the Coyotes trying to get inside that 8, and noticeably inside the 8. Got the bases loaded. Kinsley Wesley to the plate. Grace Langston moving to the on-deck circle. Wesley ground into a 5-3 in the second. She was the second out of the inning. Strike delivered on the outside part of the plate to Wesley. Wesley 0 for 1 in this game, batting 167 on the year. What a great spot to try to break out of an early season slump. A little bit outside with the offering. Grace Langston on deck. Bottom of the fourth, bases full, nobody gone, off the end of the stick foul by Wesley. Wesley, a couple of hits this year, 2 RBIs. One hour, 17 minutes in. And in the bottom of the fourth, 1-2 pitch. Strike 3, got the inside part of the plate. First Wesley strikeout of the year. And it's got Grace Langston coming to the plate. Bases still full. And 1 away, top of the order, Abby Davis moving to the on-deck circle. First pitch, a called strike to Langston. She reached on an E6 in the second. Seven, 8, and 9, bottom third of the order in the top of the fifth for Northwest Florida State. Reaching is Langston. She will commit on the swing, and the count goes to 1-2. Coyotes loaded it up in the first and left 3 stranded. Have it loaded now in the fourth. Just outside with the pitch, and the count goes even. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Count still even in 2. Couple of balls, couple of strikes. Poked foul once more, and it will stay even. Well, we are a couple of outs away from wrapping up 4th inning shout-outs, but of course, online you can shout anytime you like. YouTube coverage here on JockJive. And trying to grow the numbers as well, so subscribe. Click that little subscription button. Gives you access to a lot of stuff, not just games, interviews, sports shows, and more. Another one fouled away. You can share it. You can allow it to alert you when the game coverage begins. Just so many pluses to subscribing to the YouTube channel. Another payoff pitch, right back up the middle. It will come back to the plate, get the lead runner on the force out that goes 1-2.
Now batting, Abby Davis.
Still loaded, but now 2 gone as we're back to the top of the order. And as I mentioned, where subscribers are concerned, we got really lofty goals. I mean, heck, think big, dream big. But a short-term 4,000 subscription goal. So I guess next would be, I think we're somewhere around 3,525 maybe. So maybe 3,530. Moves a little closer to the 4. Foul back by Davis. She is 1 for 2, singled in the first, ground into a 4-6 in the second. Jersey Carter to the on-deck circle. One-two pitch outside. Hale trying to get out of the inning unscathed. Coyotes not wanting to get out of the inning, trying to drive in runs. Back to the screen by Davis. Jersey Carter moving to the on-deck circle. The one thing I haven't seen a single ounce of, and that is spectators on the natural amphitheater to the outfield. You've got a hill that rises up, gives fans a different view of the game, but thus far this year, everybody has been in the stands. And that includes today. So you are the only one that gets that look from pitcher to hitter. Everybody else looking hitter to pitcher. Strike 3, out will go Davis. She is fan looking, and 3 are stranded. Coyotes threaten, but stay scoreless.
Discover culinary arts at Coastal Alabama Community College.
Now fishing for your Coastal Alabama South Coyotes, Riley Berry.
Top of the 5th gets underway with the brand new pitcher Riley Merritt in the circle. And this is the first appearance this year by Merritt. So Merritt will come in after Littlefield works a total of 4 innings. And there you see the numbers in a 9-zip ball game as we get the top of the 5th underway. An important inning for the Coyotes. And there are 2 goals. Hold the Raiders scoreless in the top part of the inning and get at least a couple of runs in the bottom part. Merritt facing Andrews, Jones, and Bourgon. So Marin getting her first time in the circle this season. It has popped up in the direction of left field and will drop foul by Andrews, who is 0 for 2 in the game. Flew out to right field in the first, flew out to left field in the third. And in both instances was the last out in the inning. Coyotes trying to make her the first out in this inning. Two-one Marin pitch. Just a little bit outside, 3-1. Three-one pitch. That is outside and given a walk as Andrews. So the leadoff aboard for Sophia Jones.
Now batting, Sophia Jones.
Hey, by the way, thanks for the shout-outs. Great to have you watching wherever you are watching today's game. Whether it's Hammond, Louisiana, Dothan, Alabama, Pensacola, Florida. Down to first. Andrews back. Gulf Breeze, Florida. Parts between or beyond. We appreciate you checking out coverage on a Tuesday afternoon here in Bay Minette. That is ground to Fincher at third, and a good job by Hunt. It was a high throw, but Hunt able to keep mitt on ball and toe on bag.
Now batting, Britt Bourgon.
And Jones will wrap into the 5-4. One out for Britt Bourgon. Giving Hammonds to the on-deck circle. Bunted right back to Merritt. No need to worry about the lead runner. Just get the out. She does it first. Meanwhile, throw back over to third. Fincher getting there safely. Sherman just kind of looked towards the dugout, and that fraction of time. Jones took off for third, and that's where she will be safely. So the put out of Bourgon goes 1-3. Jones moves to third. Top of the order, giving Hammonds to the on-deck circle.
Now batting, given Hammonds.
Sister Arnold moving to the on-deck circle. Bottom of the fifth, Carter, Hunt, and Sherman. Hammonds 0 for 3 in the game. Couple of flyouts. Ground into a 6-5 that got Jones out, but she stayed on, and Hammonds came in and scored a run. Oh, 1 pitch. Popped up. Parker's there. Got the catch at short. And Hammonds will fly out, leaving a runner on. So Marin comes in. Faces 4 and sets down 3. Still 9-zip. Coyotes down by those 9. Got what they wanted in the top part of the fifth. Now looking for at least a couple of runs in the bottom part.
You see an empty field. We see a world-class tournament. We see an amazing wedding day. An empty stadium becomes a music festival. We see a blank canvas. We're the people who bring the biggest events to life. Discover event planning at Coastal Alabama Community College.
Now batting Jersey Carter.
We head to the bottom of the fifth. Jersey Carter starting it off. Taylor Hunt, Sydney Sherman due up in the inning 2. Sydney Simpson, the freshman right-hander, is the new pitcher for Northwest Florida State. She has been in 2 games, worked an inning and a third. Hasn't allowed a hit, but has allowed 2 runs, 1 earned, 6 walks, and 3 strikeouts. And a 5.25 ERA for the freshman. Facing Carter to start it, Hunt and Sherman to follow. Kaylin Hale working 4 innings, facing 19, 4 strikeouts, 2 walks, 5 hits, no runs allowed. So both starting pitchers will work 4. (3-0) into the zone, 3-1. Carter a hit in the first, a walk in the third. First game a little better than 90 minutes old now. Out of the strike zone, given the walk, Carter down to first. That is the 7th walk in a little better than an inning for Simpson.
Taylor Hunt.
And a runner on for Taylor Hunt. Hunt significant in that if she and Carter score, we go to the 6th. On the inside part of the plate from Simpson. Or if any 2 Coyotes score in the bottom of the 5th, we go to the 6th. Up against the screen, 0-2 on Hunt. Hunt, one of the 4 Hale strikeouts. She was fanned in the first, had a single in the third. So one of the 4 Ks and one of the 5 base hits against Raiders starting pitcher Kaylin Hale. Into the dirt with a throw. Carter headed to second. She's there safely. Ground towards short, able to knock it down on the dive. Borgone won't make a throw. That'll be an infield Hunt single. And a couple of base runners on for the Coyotes.
Now batting Sydney Sherman.
So the runners that could extend the game are on for Sydney Sherman. Sherman has walked and ground into a double play. Kaylin Fincher is on deck. Bunted right out in front of the plate. Ferguson gets to it quickly. Runners advance. Got the out on the sacrifice. But Carter to third, Hunt to second.
Now batting Kaylin Fincher.
One away for Kaylin Fincher. On the inside part of the plate to the 5-hitter, who has popped out to first and reached on an error. Key at bat for the Coyotes, trying to get 2 runs in. Couple of strikes on Fincher. Strike 3 on the outside part of the plate. Simpson's first strikeout. Raider pitching is now fan 5.
Now batting Kaylin Parker.
And it is up to Kaylin Parker to extend the game for the Coyotes. She struck out to end the first, singled in the 4th. Couple of base runners aboard, but 2 gone. Base hit likely sends it to the 6th. Kaylin Parker trying to produce that base hit with an even count at 1. High pitch. 2-1. Coyotes have loaded it in the 1st and in the 3rd. They have left 7 on in the game. That is driven towards center field. Drops in as a base hit on the 1-hop. Grabbed by Jones, but the run will plate. And that assures a 6th inning for the Coyotes. Clutch base hit for Kaylin Parker.
Now batting Ella Sears.
So a big Kaylin Parker base hit, assuring there will be a 6th inning as Ella Morgan Sears steps in. Kinsley Wesley to the on-deck circle. High fly ball, left field, but foul in the corner. Hammond's trying to chase it down, ran out of room. Count even in 1 on Sears, who had her first base hit of the year in the 4th inning. Now 1 for 2 on the season. Into the strike zone to Sears. One-two offering. Low and inside, count goes even at 2. Couple of balls, couple of strikes, 2 gone, 1 runner aboard, 2 runs in. Count runs full on Sears. She popped out to first in the 2nd, singled in the 4th, strikes out in the 5th. But the Coyotes do what they got to do. Scored a couple of runs, have extended the ball game and extended their opportunities. It's a 7-run Raider lead headed to the 6th.
You're organized, driven, focused, ready to create the life of luxury in the most beautiful and unique locations, locally and around the world. Discover hospitality management at Coastal Alabama Community College.
Again, a big thank you to Industrial Scrap Processors for making our coverage possible, in part. Been in business since 1983. And helping to make this and every Coyote softball game possible. It was a 5th inning of goals achieved by the Coyotes. The other Raiders scoreless in the top part of the inning, played a couple of runs in the bottom part. And kind of like Wheel of Fortune, have bought some fouls to keep their hopes alive. Sister Arnold starts at Ashlyn Shira, and Christina Mason due up in the inning too. 1-1 pitch from Riley Merritt. Little check swing, sent foul. And that, by the way, is Madison Stewart batting where Arnold was previously. Stewart, 5 plate appearances, no base hits. And she will line out to first. Sherman with a backhand. One out for Ashlyn Shira.
Now batting Ashlyn Shira.
Christina Mason moving to the on-deck circle. A little low and inside with a pitch from Merritt. Merritt getting her first inning of work this season in the 5th. Faced 4, gave up a walk, no base hits. Now working the 6th, round to Parker. She'll go to first from short, and Shira is out number 2. Christina Mason next. Christina Mason hit by a pitch, stole a base and scored a run in the 1st. 2-run home run in the 3rd. Popped out to first in the 4th. Takes a strike from Merritt here in the 6th. Well, the 6th inning plans for the Coyotes, of course, hold the Raiders scoreless in the top part of the inning. And then they would prefer a little more than 2 in the bottom part. Maybe at least 4, make it a 9-6 game, go into the 7th within 3. One pitch, 1-2 on Mason. Couldn't catch up with the Marin fastball. I mentioned we are 5 games into the year and Riley Merritt getting her first playing time in the circle. I have a feeling I'm going to see her a little more often. Popped up towards left. And Jersey Carter makes the catch. 3 up, 3 down. That is the first time that has happened in the top part of an inning. Merritt retiring the side in order and sending us to the bottom of the 6th.
Discover pastry baking at Coastal Alabama Community College.
Now batting, Kinsley Wesley.
And don't forget to follow us, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Threads. While you're subscribing to our YouTube channel, we head to the bottom of the 6th. Kinsley Wesley, Grace Langston, Abby Davis due up in the inning. Second inning of work for Sydney Simpson. Her first inning of work saw 2 runs score off 2 base hits and a walk. As I mentioned, goals achieved in the 5th. Scoreless top part, 2 runs in the bottom part. Let's see if Coyotes achieve those markers in the 6th. Kinsley Wesley ground into a 5-3 and struck out, 0 for 2 in the game. High pitch and a walk issued to Wesley. Second consecutive inning that Simpson has walked the leadoff hitter. Threw a base runner aboard for Grace Langston. And it looks like we are going to get a runner for Kinsley Wesley. That runner is Nicole Cooper. So Cooper will run. She's at first. Langston, who is 0 for 2 in the game, steps in at the plate. Abby Davis moving to the on-deck circle. Bunting towards third. It is scooped up in fair territory by Ferguson. It will be thrown into the dirt, irretrievable at first. And you got a couple of boot-arounds on the infield and 2 runners in scoring position for the Coyotes. That'll be charged as an E5. Madison Stewart, the new first baseman.
Now batting, Abby Davis.
Just couldn't dig out the throw from third from Ferguson. And a couple of base runners on. In the bottom of the 6th. That'll go to the screen, but it ricochets, gets back to the catcher, Vessier, quickly. Abby Davis singled, ground out, and struck out. 1 for 3 in the game. And coach is acting based on body language and has looked at the pin. And that's going to be it for Simpson, and it is. So a new pitcher coming in for Northwest Florida State as Simpson leaves.
Frustrated. She's having trouble with her defensive player. Look at this sweet pass behind the back for 2 on the assist.
And that one is hit on a rope to center field. Watch that one. And it is, oh, what a great diving catch by the center field.
And in that game, it was basically a running back by committee. I mean, you had a lot of guys carrying the football. Is that the protocol for the upcoming season for the backfield of Jackson State?
It's a really nice pitch to get the ground ball double play. Second one.
6-5 is your final. East Georgia advances to the championship game.
The new pitcher is Tori Taylor. Taylor will pick up a 2-0 count against Abby Davis. Sydney Simpson leaves after an inning of work. Facing 8, 2 strikeouts, 2 walks, 2 hits, 2 runs thus far, but she leaves with 2 runners on. Tori Taylor, a freshman, has made 3 appearances, 2-0, 8 innings of work, 11 hits given up. 2 runs, 1 earned, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts, and a .88 ERA. Outside with a pitch. About every couple of innings, Coyotes have loaded it up. Will they do it again? They will. Walk issued to Davis. Loaded with nobody gone. And it looks like Jersey Carter is going to get a pinch hitter. So Carter, who singled and walked twice, back to the dugout. And this is Olivia Tubbs.
Now batting, Olivia Tubbs.
Tubbs, a .400 hitter on the year. 4 hits and 10 plate appearances, 2 doubles, and a couple of RBIs. Has it loaded in the bottom of the 6th. Taylor Hunt is on deck. Oh, 1 pitch. Just a nudge outside and the count goes even. Tubbs has appeared in 4 games. Has walked once and struck out once as well. Now the low pitch, 2-1. Safe to say the game on the schedule as a 3 p.m. first pitch. Not going to have one at 3. Right now looking best case in the neighborhood of 3:45. Got a piece of it, but foul tips it into Vessier's mitt. And Tubbs will strike out for out number 1.
Now batting, Taylor Hunt.
Taylor Hunt is next. Hunt 2 for 3. A strikeout and a couple of base hits. Scored one of the 2 runs in the 5th. She and Carter were on when Kaylin Parker hit that single that drove in both and extended the ball game. That is popped up to the right side, but foul. Hunt struck out in the 1st, singled in the 3rd and 5th. Oh, 2 pitch, just a little bit outside. Taylor hoping that Hunt would chase. 1-2 pitch, too high, too far outside. Count goes even in 2 each. Two offering. That is sliced over towards first. You'll get the double play. Stewart snagged it off the ankles, and Davis had already committed to run towards second. 2 are left on. 10 have been stranded by the Coyotes. We go to the 7th in a 9-2 game.
Discover culinary arts at Coastal Alabama Community College.
Now that Autumn Vessier.
Top of the 7th, Autumn Vessier starting it off. Michaela Ferguson and Hayden Andrews due up in the inning. And we're getting some changes defensively as we speak, running out. Back to center field is Langston. And I think we had Tubbs in center, and she's been shifted over, I believe, into left. Let me see if that is an 8 on the jersey of our new fielder in left. Well, you know how it is. They only turn to where you can see the shoulder and not the back. So I'm not sure yet if we've got Tubbs. That looks like a 6, which would be Sears if that is correct. Well, it is Sears. Okay. The much younger eyes in the press box, they can see far better. Saying that is Sears, and she's going to play immediately on a ball that had a little tailing off on it, but Sears played it just like it should have been played, and Vessier is out number 1.
Now that Michaela Ferguson.
So one away for Michaela Ferguson. Ferguson has tripled, popped out, and ground out. Pops this one towards the bullpen on the Raiders side. Ferguson's triple, drove in a couple of runs, drove in Shira and Mason in the first. Then she popped out to center field as the middle out of the 3rd inning was the last out in the 4th when she ground into the 5-3. Outside with a pitch to Ferguson. Sherman, Fincher, and Parker in the bottom of the 7th for Coastal Alabama South. Little outside with a pitch to Ferguson. An opening game that has surpassed the 2-hour mark. Two-one pitch. Nearly nibbled the kneecaps of Ferguson. Able to turn away and get away from the pitch from Merritt. Merritt has had an impressive tenure in the circle. Gave up a walk to Andrews. And that's been about it. And that happened back in the 5th. Three-two pitch, Ferguson awaits. Here's the payoff. It's low, and the walk given to Ferguson. That is the second merit walk. It's got Hayden Andrews coming to the plate with the base runner at first.
Now batting, Hayden Andrews.
Raiders and Coyotes into the seventh. As that is ground over towards Fincher. Came out of the mid, throws to second, able to get back safely. Ferguson had some heat on it. That was a little more than mustard. That was some habanero. Little ghost pepper on that one.
Sophia Jones.
And Fincher not able to hang on. Couple of base runners on for Sophia Jones. Jones has struck out, singled, and ground out. Brent Borgone to the on-deck circle. 0-1 pitch, inside to Jones. Good crowd on hand watching softball on a Tuesday. And that crowd has grown through game one. Game two, a half hour after this one concludes. There aren't many lighted diamonds in the ACCC, but it's a good thing this one has lights, because I think we may need them. Got a feeling the second game is going to bring us to nighttime. Swing a miss. Jones goes down. That is the first K of the season for Riley Merritt.
Now batting, Britt Borgone.
Fouled back to the screen by Brett Borgone. Couple of base runners aboard, a scoreless fifth, sixth, and thus far seventh for the Raiders. After a 3-run first, a 2-run third, and a 4-run fourth. 0-1 pitch, a little bit high. Borgone 2 for 3, couple of singles. Single in the second and fourth, ground out to the pitcher in the fifth. Coyotes sending the mid part of the order, the meat of the order to the plate when we get to the bottom of the seventh. Sherman, Fincher, and Parker. 1-2 on Borgone. Given Hammonds is on deck. One-two pitch. Underneath the mid of a diving Parker. It will roll into left field. Coming in to score on the single is Ferguson. Borgone picks up the RBI. And apparently you can scratch the run. Well, I'm not. She stepped out of the box is the suggestion by the umpire, laying down the shot that goes into left. So instead of an RBI single, Borgone out of the box for out number 3, leaving a runner stranded. And we keep it at a 9-2 game, headed to the bottom of the 7th.
You see an empty field. We see a world-class tournament. We see an amazing wedding day. An empty stadium becomes a music festival. We see a blank canvas. We're the people who bring the biggest events to life. Discover event planning at Coastal Alabama Community College.
Now batting, Sydney Sherman.
We get the bottom of the 7th underway. Sydney Sherman will start it. Kaylin Fincher and Kaylin Parker due up in the inning 2. So when it looked like the Raiders had planted a run against Riley Merritt, she doesn't give up a run. Morgone stepping out of the box to lay down the shot towards left. And Merritt's got 3 scoreless innings, 5th, 6th, and 7th. Tori Taylor facing Sydney Sherman here in the bottom of the 7th. Strike delivered on the outside part of the plate, 2-1. Sherman walked in the first, ground into a 6-4-3 in the 3rd, laid down a sacrifice in the 5th. Coyotes trying to pull off the miraculous. At least a 7-run 7th. And the Coyotes thinking, well, heck, we're going to do 7 in the 7th. Might as well go ahead and do 8. Count even at 2 on Sydney Sherman. Tori Taylor, the 3rd pitcher used by Northwest Florida State in the game. Hill got the start, worked 4 innings. Simpson came in and worked 1. And this is the 2nd inning of work for Taylor. High pitch to run the count 3-2. There have been 5 walks issued by Raider pitching. That'll get out of play. Three balls, couple of strikes. Another one fouled away. 2 hours, 10 minutes in this one. Nowhere close to the longest 7-inning softball game I covered. Did a game about 10 years ago that lasted 3 hours and 45 minutes and took 7 innings to complete. So we're not in record territory. Trying to think of the longest softball game I've ever done inning-wise. Thinking probably about 11. Swing and a miss. Sherman goes down. 1 out. Kaylin Fincher next.
Now batting, Kaylin Fincher.
Got a friend who's in his 80s now, but back in the mid-60s, worked a 33-inning baseball game. That's a base hit into right field for Fincher. Goes all the way to the fence. And Fincher pulls into second with a double. Fincher's 3rd double of the year. Kaylin Parker coming to the plate. 2 for 3 with a couple of RBIs. Got a base runner in scoring position. A little inside with the Torrey Taylor pitch. Parker struck out in the first, singled in the fourth and fifth. Ella Morgan Sears on deck, pitch a little bit outside. To be clear, by the way, we all like personal highs, but that's not one goal I'm looking to achieve, 33 innings. Outside with the pitch, and Parker's walked. I'll stick with the 7-inning softball games, the 7 to 9 inning baseball games. Sears driving this one in the direction of right field, but foul. Sears 1 for 3 in the game. Flew out to first in the second, singled in the fourth, struck out in the fifth. Strike delivered on the outside part of the plate. One away, 2 aboard. Coyotes needing 7, preferring 8. Fouled off by Sears. Kinsley Wesley on deck. Swing and a miss. Sears strikes out, and there's 2 gone. And for Taylor, that is strikeout number 3. Runner coming in for Fincher, that is Julie Amacher, who will run for Fincher at second. Kinsley Wesley coming to the plate. Wesley's ground into a 5-3, struck out and walked. Coyotes down to their last out. Grace Langston hoping she'll have a chance to come to the plate next. Torrey's 0-1 offering on the inside part of the plate. And the Coyotes now down to their last strike. First of 2. At about 3:45-ish. You got your second game of the doubleheader getting underway. One-two pitch. It will stay 1-2 on Wesley. Well, if you look at the finishing numbers in this one and didn't see the run scored, you probably would think the Coyotes win it. That is sent towards center field. Diving catch made. Hey, if it's a good catch, kudos to whomever makes it. That was a great catch by Jones. Looked like Wesley was going to be able to get on with a single, but instead you got an outstanding Jones catch in center that puts an end to the ball game, and this one ends after 7. And taking a look at your final numbers in this one, both teams with 8 hits, but it's the Raiders with 9 runs. Those runs come 3 in the first, 2 in the third, 4 in the fourth. Meanwhile, 5 are stranded, 3 errors committed by the Raiders. Coastal South will leave 12 on and do not commit an error. Their 2 runs come in the 5th and extend the game into the 6th and 7th. 7-0 now on the year are the Raiders. Coyotes go to 3-2. And that is the first of 2. Game number 2 of our doubleheader at about 3:46, 30 minutes from now. We will see you then. Thanks for watching. Don't forget, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Threads, and TikTok. And we'll see you at about 3:46 for Game 2 of the doubleheader. For all the folks at Coastal Alabama and JockJive, Robert Williamson saying, so long, everybody.